Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. And I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to another shocking episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates. Comics are under attack, guys. Comics are under attack. We're being slapped. We're being tackled because of our free speech. And people hate our freedom. And they hate our art. So they're tackling us. So we're safe inside of a locked podcast studio right now because this is the only place where we feel safe now. We can no longer feel safe on stage because of all the tackling that's happening. And as a former linebacker, I would say that tackling, while helpful in football, is the wrong way to express yourself in life. With me to volley some of these issues, maybe throw it around a little bit, is hilarious comedian. I've known him for years. Dear friend, Erik Bransteen is here, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, Erik. And are you feeling it now in the clubs? That's what everybody's asking us.
Well, you're saying,
do you feel under attack?
Are we safe in here? You sure in this podcast studio? Because there's
You had to buzz to get in, right?
Yeah, but there were 3 guys banging on the window,
right,
trying to get in. So I think we might be under attack. Right
we
here.
might be under attack right now. We don't know what their intentions are, and but we feel safe inside. There's a layered system. There's a buzzer outside of Gas Digital, and then there's a door. There's 2 doors. There's a patio, which is, if you're coming into attack, you might get lured into a conversation
right,
and smoking pot. And then there's a lobby.
There's also a moat
full of these guys don't look that tough, but they are.
There's a moat with crocodiles.
Yes,
too, right. So.
Well, there's a bridge when you come down, and so there's a lot of systems in place here at Gas Digital to make sure that we can be as edgy as we want to be, and we don't have no physical repercussions to that. Did you play contact sports growing up? Because I did.
What'd you play?
I played football and wrestled. I didn't know any non-contact sports. I refused to play them.
I played baseball. There's no contact.
There is no contact with that.
Except for grabbing butts. That's about it.
Yeah, you guys did that. Yeah. I heard that. I heard you call that a home run. So you played baseball, and that's like the good-looking guy's sport.
No, that's
wrestling is for Neanderthals, and football is for lugheads.
Yeah, but you guys actually got women. Baseball players, we didn't get the women.
Yes, you did. I thought baseball guys always got the women.
Not in the high school level.
But what about the softball team, the women's softball team? Didn't they date the baseball team? Isn't that a match made in high school heaven?
Yeah, I don't even know if that was a thing. I think they just everyone dated the football players.
Yeah.
That was it. You probably did well in high school.
Well, I did well in football just because of work ethic stuff. I wasn't very big. I'm not very big now, and Shannon will talk about that at length. But I had a lot of heart, Erik, I'll tell you that. I don't know if that counts in baseball, but in football, in contact sports, it counts to have a ton of heart.
What was your position?
A linebacker.
Oh, wow.
There's no lies on this podcast, Erik, okay? I'm not saying things for effect.
Right.
When I say I'm not afraid of being tackled, I'm saying it because I was a linebacker and I did a lot of the tackling. And I was a strong side linebacker, so I would jam the tight end coming off the line, get my head on a swivel, and in pass coverage, or if it was a run, I would come up to the line and make the tackle, take on a blocker and make the tackle.
So were you like that guy in the Sandra Bullock movie, The Blind Side? Was that you?
I don't know what guy. No, that guy was he was an offensive tackle.
Oh, okay, so you didn't have the same story. You weren't adopted.
No. I wasn't adopted. I wasn't. First of all, I didn't go to the pros.
Right, okay.
There's a lot of flaws with that, Eric, and I'm not going to be afraid to point them out. There's a crazy analogy to make.
I'm sorry,
and I appreciate you coming in with it though.
Yeah.
But no, linebacker, you understand football though, right? Do you get it?
Yeah, it's when you score, it's a hat trick, right? And then it's 15 love after you score 7 home runs, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got it. You basically got it. But tackling is a big part of the sport. So when people go, "Are you afraid of getting tackled?" It's like that's where I used to live. From I played Pop Warner football, and then I played high school, and then that was it for me. And then I wrestled after that. So tackling is like not a new thing to me. How would you respond to being tackled on stage?
Very poorly.
Yeah.
I think I would run. I don't think I would be able to.
Would you scream, "I'm a baseball player"? Maybe that'll stop him. I play baseball. I don't know this.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is.
I have a rosin bag in my pocket, so you guys are in trouble. No, I think that I would run. Because I'm what do they call
Would you
that?
run and bet because Pete Rose? You gambled? Did you gamble on yourself? Which now he's kept out of the Hall of Fame.
I know. That's you think that's fair? I don't think that's fair.
I don't think that's fair.
I mean, he could be working
so
for
many.
DraftKings right now. So,
Right.
So
you would run and then you would gamble.
no.
And then
I would run and I would flee.
Flee?
Yeah. Because
Is flee the same thing as run? You're confusing some of our lower echelon fans.
flee is what you do when you're scared.
Right.
And if someone came up to me on stage and I would run. I'd probably
Right.
yeah. It would be an ugly scene. I wouldn't probably get booked anywhere.
What if
after
you
that.
didn't know they were what their intentions were? When someone comes up on stage now, I go, "What are your intentions?" You have to scream that, I think. So you know that if they have bad intentions, or like in this case with Dave Chappelle, a guy had a gun disguised as a knife, or was it a knife? Is a Swiss Army?
Yeah.
The new Swiss Army, where it's just all weapons.
Is the knife in the gun?
It's a gun knife.
Yeah. That seems.
I think it's like one of those guns where you shoot and it goes applause. That would have been funnier, I think. This is not that funny.
No, I mean,
kind of looks
gun or
like
a knife, pick a lane here. Right?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Now we have no argument. It's like he had a gun that was also a knife. It's like you can't live in both worlds, But is that Swiss Army? It's like, where's the corkscrew?
Right.
Where's the toenail clippers?
Do you
That would
buy
have
that?
been
Do you buy that, or
disgusting.
you make that? Do you make that?
I don't know if those are for sale now. A knife gun? A knife gun. What about a musket? Just come on with a musket and be like, I'm disgruntled with your comedy, and I'm also a Civil War reenactor. I think there's a lot there.
Yeah.
But tackling itself, I don't know. I think that it's on us as comics to sprawl. That's a defensive move in wrestling where
Okay.
somebody goes to shoot a double leg, which is essentially a tackle, and you sprawl out and you work a front headlock series. And maybe some of us should know that. And if you don't know it, maybe you should learn it if you're going to be a performer.
When you did wrestling, did you feel like it was a little intimate though with the other wrestlers? You get kind of close there.
You get kind of close, but it's you're not coming with intimacy energy. You're coming with combative energy.
Okay.
And people mistake that a lot, Eric. You know what I mean? Like, we're not siding up to each other. It's like when someone tackles you, your closeness and proximity is undeniable, but there's a combative vibe where it's like, I'm trying to take you out.
Okay, so you were never wrestling, and then the other guy might have gotten a boner. That wasn't a thing.
No, it wasn't a thing, Eric. I don't know what's going on with him, but me, I'm wrestling in a combative way. And would it have been different if he would have brought a knife gun? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the thing in wrestling now to do is because there's nothing more emasculating. Is that a word? It's nothing more emasculating than being pinned, being physically manhandled by a guy your own weight. So if a guy your own weight pinned you, like they used to crush me to get pinned. And it used to happen a lot in my earlier days.
Did you have to like lose weight or gain weight to get in a certain weight class?
Yeah, I would lose weight.
Did you ever see this movie? It was pretty old, Vision Quest.
I loved it. We watched it my 8th grade year at the end of the year party.
And didn't he like lose weight or gain weight?
He had to lose weight. And he went down to wrestle shoot. who was Shoot was a big tough wrestler at one, and he had to lose weight to get down, and he was like bleeding and all kinds of other stuff, and to lose it, but he lost the weight, and then he went down and he beat Shoot, and that was the big Rocky moment.
Right, but didn't he have like
relate
sex
everything
with his
to Rocky.
teacher or something, or no?
No, she was I forget what she was. She wasn't a teacher, but she was hot.
Yeah,
So I think that's allowed.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You tried to bring it in like, oh, wasn't there something weird? And it's like, Eric, people are allowed to have sex with other people. Okay, if they're hot.
But what, he was
Only if
that
they're
was
hot.
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine.
Could you?
It wasn't
if,
Matthew McConaughey, which I know that's where you're going with it.
if you think you could beat Matthew Modine in a wrestling match?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would deck him. I would pin him.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, acting-wise, he's much better, but he's older now, and I would take him out.
So you could take up a lot of the stars of the '80s. You think you could wrestle and beat?
Forget the stars of the 80s, Eric. Let's keep it relevant to this. Anybody who attacked me on stage, unless you have some kind of a background, you're getting taken down.
Right.
And you're going to get humiliated, and the laugh is going to be on you. So, I mean, you could try to shoot, but you better know what to do when you get in. You know what I mean? Like, when you get in, you better know how to finish. And then if you finish, then you get awarded the takedown, and then I lose. And I'll take my chances with
Talking
it.
about finishing and takedowns, there's a lot of sexual kind of euphemisms.
You're turning it that way, Eric. You're turning it that way, and I think that it's just
it's a good
part.
sport,
It's
though.
part of performing now.
Yeah.
I think it's part of performing. We have to, and people go. They're asking. They're like Howie Mandel,
Yeah.
who puts a glove on his head. Who I love. He puts a glove on his head, but Howie Mandel is afraid of germs.
Right.
So
He doesn't
could
even
you
want to be touched,
imagine
yeah.
what he's like? We're under attack. And I love comics saying that we're under attack. And are we under attack, do you think? Are we under attack?
What do you think Gallagher's doing right now? Because someone could come and now like hit him with a mallet,
Yeah.
or a watermelon or something like that. That could be.
Well,
a thing.
somebody who's on an all-fruit diet
Yeah.
maybe would be attacking him. I think, I think that somebody who, he's definitely anti-keto because fruit is sugar.
Right.
And we all know that from our dietary expertise. But it's like, yeah, you're right. He's under attack.
Like, if
now.
you think he could set someone off if he like banged a kiwi and with a hammer, and then someone was pissed off.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
It would get weird, man.
It would get very weird.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Gallagher, and what about Carrot Top? But he's got trunks of stuff to defend himself with.
Yeah, but he's got to get the right props for that night.
Yeah.
Because if he hits someone with like one of those squeaky hammers, that's not going to do anything.
Well, I hate to bring us back here, but this incident, the squeaky hammer would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, that Houdini, we're forgetting that this went back to Houdini. How Houdini died is very sad because he was just resting in the green room, wasn't feeling good. Two guys came back who were given access, and they're talking to Houdini. And Houdini used to do this trick where he would tighten his stomach up and let people punch him in the stomach to say that as hard as they can, so they can he could withstand it. It's like part of magic, I guess. Back at that time, that was 1930s magic. Punch me in the stomach.
Magic was easy back then.
So he's laying down, and the guys come in, and I guess they knew the trick. And before he was ready, they punched him. One of them punched him in the stomach, and then he died. Mm-hmm. And it's like that's the ultimate heckle, I would say. Is tackling and punching the new heckling?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're on high alert right now, and we're going to be attacked. All of us. I think.
We are on high alert. Comedians are on high alert right now. You heard it from Eric, and to a lesser extent me. And I say we have to be ready for this. We have to be ready.
So, have you ever been attacked on stage?
No.
No. What's the worst heckle you've ever gotten?
What I don't like personally is the heckles, not where they are like just come at you. I don't like the underhanded stuff that people try to do to draw attention to themselves and repeatedly disrupt the act. If somebody's just drunk and they yell, like that's dealt with in one fell swoop. But if somebody's like, I've had people sit in the front row and just be saying stuff after each joke, and I have to stop because no one else can hear them.
I know,
but I can hear them.
It's a little bug in your ear.
It's a bug, and they're doing it to draw attention to themselves. It's not for a good reason. And I have to stop and go, hey, you got to stop. You got to stop doing that. Like I have enough. I can bomb on my own. I don't need you to like be trying to throw stuff in my head. You got to stop doing that. And they go, what?
Yeah.
And that makes me furious. And then they sit there like this the rest of the time. I know. It's like, oh, what'd you think? You were just going to come here and make it about you? Go to karaoke, dude.
Yeah.
Go to karaoke. And why are they not getting tackled?
They
the
should be.
karaoke's. I mean, that's legitimately bad. We're good.
Yeah.
We're being paid. We're professionals. Karaoke's are amateurs. Oh, I'm a law clerk, and now I'm gonna sing "Sweet Child of Mine." Tackle that bitch.
Are you? I bet you're good at karaoke. See, I always have a thing that comics are pretty good at karaoke because they're not nervous to be up there,
Right.
Even if your voice is bad.
I'll tell you what I want to do. I mean, I've done it before, but and I don't have a great voice, but I would like to do it. But I always sing Springsteen.
Oh yeah,
Because he doesn't have a great voice.
Yeah.
And he's a star. So I'm like, if Springsteen can do it, I can do it. But I'll tell you what, it's a good exercise in just stage presence.
What's your signature song? What's your go-to song?
Anything Springsteen.
What's it? I had to pick one though.
Born to Run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in your case, Born to Flee.
Yeah, I only can go with Elvis. That's the only register.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only register I can do.
What about Neil Diamond, the Jewish Elvis?
Yeah, I could probably do that. I
Yeah?
just don't like a lot of his songs, but
Right.
yeah, you only have I have a register of one. Is it Octave? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Or what is that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Octave sounds right, though.
Yeah, it sounds like
and we
it.
do a lot of things by sound in this
Right.
podcast. But Octave sounds close to something.
That's a range.
musical.
I always heard that Mariah Carey had a 6-octave range, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I figure I'm probably half.
a half an octave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like one note.
Oh, there's octave.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. A series of 8 notes occupying the interval between and including 2 notes, one having twice or half the frequency or vibration of the other.
What about the poem one though? That's
A poem or stanza of 8 lines, an octet. Octave.
where are you-
Octave is a good name for a son.
Where are you on poems? Are you pro or against?
Oh, I like poetry.
Yeah.
But I also think that they should be tackled. It shouldn't be just us. Poets need to get tackled. Karaoke people need to get tackled. Like, it's not just us, you know? You're going to start tackling us, start tackling every performer.
During the pandemic, I was so bored. I would do all those Zoom shows, and I did a Zoom show. It was a poetry reading. Like everyone was doing poetry, and I was the only comic on the show. And I found out that I was only slightly funnier than a fucking poet, basically.
That's really funny. I think it's funny to do your comedy like a poem. A Jew walks in to a church. You know what I mean? Like really do it in their snappy, artsy cadence.
You could just say,
and I'm not shitting on them.
No, but like people who write haikus, I think haikus are bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I thought it was a form of self-defense. I thought that was a derivative of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think it's
A haiku. All right. Well, I think we've tackled this issue sufficiently, and that's not lost on our fans, even though a lot is because they're not bright.
Yeah.
But mental illness was at play. The guy was, I guess, mentally ill who attacked Chappelle. Knife gun is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
That he couldn't make a choice between a knife or a gun.
Yeah.
And tackling is the new heckling. So we got a lot out of that. And but we're under attack, and I'm just saying we're not crying about it. Stand-up comics are not crying about it. But if you're gonna attack us, attack poets, also attack karaoke people, and you can't just be attacking us. That's not fair.
If you were going to
Everyone,
combine,
this
just one
is a
last on the
fairness.
knife gun thing. If you were going to combine 2 weapons, what would you pick?
Bomb gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
works much
it's like
better.
freeze, and then we're all blown. It's like, or it just blows off your hand. It's kind of funny. It just blows off your hand.
What about
And
a
then
gun?
You know what I like better, and people know this from this podcast because I've said it before. And don't write a comment that I repeat things because I know I'm repeating it. But Erik is here for the first time. I like a note.
A note?
Like robbing a bank with a note.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
old
I
school.
don't have any weapons on me. I'm just using my words. Using,
You used to get away with that back in the day. I don't think you can do that now. Or
too
put
much.
your finger underneath your jacket. That
a
would
finger
work
under
a
a
lot.
jacket.
When did that stop working?
I think the banks are so high security now that they
Right.
can't, But a note was always like, because you could go, I don't know, it could be interpreted that way at trial. It could be interpreted that I want all the money.
Right.
I didn't say I wanted all your money.
Yeah.
I said I want all the money. And if you do it on a withdrawal slip, does that matter?
No, I think that legally helps you out there.
Yeah.
And not saying you want all their money, just want money.
Right.
So legally, if you could cover your tracks and you could rob a bank and not actually commit any crime.
Right. With
Yeah.
a note.
You're pretty smart, actually.
I I love robbing stuff with a note. That would be great.
Can I tell a quick fun story about a note at a bank?
Yes.
It's not personal. So there was a director
Oh, breaking news.
Is it breaking news,
Wow.
Shannon? Is your story breaking news?
Yep.
You're using effects on yourself in there.
Breaking news, but this is from a few months ago. So there was a director that went into a bank in Atlanta. He was I believe the director of the new Black Panther movie.
Oh, yes, I heard this.
And so he goes into the bank and he slid a note to the cashier asking for like $3,000 or something like that. And that was it. But he was withdrawing it from his account. But he wrote it on a little note and handed it to the cashier. She called the cops because she's thinking this is some sort of bank robbery. But he really just wanted to withdraw money. And he said he did it that way because he didn't like to draw a lot of attention by saying, I want to withdraw this large amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty great. I thought you were going to say he was deaf. Or something. I really did. I thought that's where it was going. It turns out he was deaf, and then the bank got sued for prejudice against disability, Disabilities Act. So, but I think that's great. I think you should be able to go in with a knife gun or something if you have the money. If you go, give me $10,000 right now, put it in this bag, but you have $10,000 in your account. Like, you should be allowed to fake rob. You should be allowed to go through the motions of robbing the bank if you have the money to cover it in your account, because you're not really robbing it, but it makes you feel like a Bonnie and Clyde.
Right, so you're just robbing money from your own account.
You're robbing money from your own account, but the whole thing that you go in there when masked up, which everybody has to go now. You don't even have to be a robber for that. Actually, you're looked down upon if you don't wear them. Anyway, you go in there masked up, and you guns blazing, and you're only just taking money out of your own account, but it gives you like a bank robber feel. You know what I mean? It's exhilarating.
I think you've come up with a new business. I think people would love that. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's people who will pay a lot of money to steal.
Maybe
money
we should
from
open our own bank that way.
I mean, banks need to do more to get more customers.
And I'm tired of First National and all kinds of like Citibank, like all this stuff. It's like, what about Frank's First National Bank? Like somebody it's like, is Frank? Let me just talk to Frank.
Yeah.
And then let's work out a loan that way instead of going through these corporate Chase. It's like, what even is that? It's a group. It's a group of board of directors. Like, just let me talk to Frank.
Hey, and
Frank's First National.
Do you ever notice now? You remember years ago, like 10 years ago, there was banks on every corner of New York City. Mm-hmm. Now they're all closing. You can't even find banks. You can find some, but there's not a lot anymore.
And you think it's because of Dogecoin?
I think Dogecoin, or
it's invisible money.
Yeah, or I think Cumrocket. You know that one? Mm-mm. Oh, that's a crypto for porn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had its day for about 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good name for. I mean, if your currency was called Cumrocket, I think you could buy some things.
I think you could buy them for a while, but you'd say it prematurely went away. No, there's all these different currencies now. It's like I put, you go into your pocket, you don't have any money. There's just lint, and then you go, oh, that's new. That's a new currency.
Right.
That's a new derivative of lint coin. You know what I mean? It's like you can just say that's money now, and people go, "Oh, I guess it is."
I mean, the weird thing with Bitcoin is you can't you can't go to a store and buy a pack of gum with it. Really, I mean, I guess you could, but
right? Digital gum.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
You can buy plutonium with it.
Right.
You can't buy a pack of gum. It's like a weird currency.
It's a weird currency, and no one really actually understands it, especially our fans who
you seem to
don't even have money.
Yeah, you just seem to not like your fans.
I love my fans. I love them, and I try to teach them.
Oh, okay.
And I want them to rise up, and I want them to move out of their parents' house. And I want them to move out of a one-room, whatever, where they're living, and get their life together, and call the mother of their child for once, and try to be a father. If I want them. I'm rooting for them, but sometimes it's like they just need motivation, and I think, and Shannon's against what I'm doing, but she's like the benevolent mother. It's like, oh no, let them take the day off school if they're sick, and I'm like, get your crap together and go to school. Go to school, do your homework, and Shannon's like, oh no, they need soup, and it's like they don't need soup, okay. They need intelligence, and they need to be taught. And sometimes you have to do that with tough love, Eric. Right. And I know, are you a believer in that?
No, I'm against tough love. I like tough not tough love.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be like someone kind of hard, but not love.
No.
I don't even know what either one of those things mean.
You've never been in love?
No, I have been several. No, never.
Never been in love?
No, I have, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I think I have. You think you are at the time, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm in love right now.
All right. Oh, yeah. Before your situation.
I've been in love several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every relationship I've been in, I've been in love, Eric.
Yeah.
You know? I wasn't faking it.
Never?
I wasn't faking love. No, never. Why be in a relationship? Why fake it? Why fake being in love with somebody?
It's true.
You know what I mean? The way society is now, you could just casually hook up with somebody and you don't even have to fake love. So each relationship I was in, I was actually in love with the person.
Well, you can't casually anymore because we're not going to have abortion anymore. So you have to watch that now.
Roe versus... That brings us to Roe versus Wade. And we're not afraid to attack the tough issues here. And a lot of you think we are. How do you survive in the water if it's swimming is out? Do you row or is it Wade? Roe versus Wade. What do you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wade.
Wade.
Yeah.
Wade too, me, because rowing is like you have to have a boat. And that costs a lot of money. And, you know, it's a lot of resources. And then you got to send it to college. And it's like you can't. It's like I'd rather just wade. Roe versus Wade. It's a tough question, and we've solved it here.
Yeah.
On this podcast.
You talk about
Shannon,
it?
do you know that we've solved Roe versus Wade on this podcast?
That's incredible, Mike.
It's incredible, and we don't get half of the downloads that we deserve because we just solved an issue that the Supreme Court is shitting the bed on.
So what was your solution?
That's my solution. Wade myself out of the water.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that in the opinion. He should have written that.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got
Yeah.
one. You know, I solve everything with a catchphrase. So, or a meme. If you're Gen Z and you're watching this,
Your audience, you have a very specific audience. I
I
know.
have I'm talking directly at people.
Yeah.
And they appreciate that because we break the fourth wall.
So if you had
I'm
a
talking at you.
if
I'm
your
talking to you guys. Listen, because I break the fourth wall a lot. And you can do it too. If you
Right.
want to talk directly to them, no, that's not your camera. That's
okay.
my camera.
Oh, that's the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing to say to them.
Okay, well, when you do,
Yeah.
if I pose a question, it's like, how would you respond to getting tackled on stage? Look into the camera and go, "I'm a coward and I flee."
Right.
You could say that.
I'm a coward and I flee.
Okay. I mean, you
Mike's
just
audience.
you hit our audience is full of cowards.
Yeah.
Who would do the same? So you're connecting to them.
So is that your audience is cowardly? or-
No, I don't think that they're cowardly. I think they're lazy. And I think they have a good heart. I just think that they're unable to they're not self-motivated and they need me. I'm like a cattle prod. And a lot of them are watching from secondhand computers because they can't afford to buy them themselves. And they're watching first thing in the morning, which is the afternoon to them. So
they smoke
just
a lot of
need
weed? Are
they
they
just
weed
need me to mind.
smokers?
I don't know if they're necessarily drug people. There's a lot of mama's boys out there, and you're not Mother's Day just passed. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
But I keep everything in compartmentalized, which is what they have to do. Not let your emotions rule you, which is what they have to do. Breathing practice, cold shower, eating right, get up, get motivated, attack life. Don't let life attack you. I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking at them.
Yeah. Well, I think I think you're making some good points.
I'm making some great points,
Yeah.
Eric, and that's why I'm defending myself, because this is not like a normal podcast
Right.
where we just have a comic hang and they're just listening in, because that's lazy on their part for just listening. Oh, I want to be part of it. It's like, you're not part of it.
Now, I got a little confused because when you said this was about you investigating, I thought initially this was a true crime podcast.
Well, we haven't got to the second half of the podcast
Okay.
yet.
Have you solved any murders on this?
We just solved Roe versus Wade. Can we
that's
take
true.
it down a notch?
Yeah.
I mean, we did a
And
lot
a lot of people
today
think
already.
that's murder. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And so is
Selena
fur.
Barnes.
Fur is murder.
It is murder. That's right, Mike.
That's right. It is.
Selena and Barnes, we solved that one.
Celino and Barnes. Do you know
Oh.
what happened with the lawyer world? That was our first episode.
yeah, they broke up, right? What
They
happened?
broke up, and
Yeah.
then who died? Shannon
I think Barnes.
Barnes died, and Celino is Alex flashing us. Celino.
I think he wanted the
took
phone
over.
number.
I mean, what are we doing here at Gas Digital?
I think it was something about the phone number too, right? They want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really good phone number. It was
The
like
phone number was at play.
Yeah.
Barnes died. Barnes's brother took over his business. Celino is on his own, and I was like, "Who killed Barnes? He died in a mysterious plane accident."
Right.
And I don't. I think there were a lot of billboards at stake. This guy's made millions and millions of dollars, and I just didn't sit with me right. And Celino also has a vowel in his last name, and I know how my people are.
I know. That's
And
what I
they're
was gonna
sinister, and they'll invite you to dinner, they'll kill you, or they'll rewire your plane so it doesn't work, and you're ready to land and you crash. So
Do you think there's
we
any
went
chance
after
that
it.
Barnes is in the bottom of the East River right now?
I think that either Celino or Barnes's brother took him out. And I think that Celino and Barnes probably took out Barnes.
So you think there was a second shooter?
It could be. It could be.
This is a conspiracy, I think.
We burning an eternal flame. Okay, it's a John F. Kennedy reference.
Yeah.
For those listeners out there,
He was a president.
He was a president who never took it. And it's also an airport.
Yeah.
Named after a president. All right, we got to get to a lot of stuff,
Okay.
Eric. Okay, we're 29 minutes in.
Oh, I didn't even.
And we've had some fun.
Right.
But now it's time to get to work. I got to put you to work.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go with the first article, which is tennis star yells at Italians. This one hits close to home. This one, Shannon, hits us close. This is our being tackled on stage. Denis Shapovalov goes ballistic, which is a word that people are using now, at Italian Open after booze. He says, shut the F up. And let's go on. You don't tell Italians to shut up. I mean, that's one thing. Denis Shapovalov lost his cool. The 23-year-old loudly shouted, shut the F up at the crowd watching his first round Italian Open match after they began to boo him. Fans were frustrated by Shapovalov's ongoing tiffs with the chair umpire. Italians don't like it if you don't respect authority. Respect is huge in our culture, Eric.
Yeah.
I know you're a member of the tribe, so I'm trying to break it down to you in
Italian terms.
Italian, but also legal terms, which is what you guys are good at. Shapovalov was fighting to remain in the second set of the match against Italian Lorenzo Sonego after winning the first on a tiebreak. The umpire had already warned the Canadian about crossing the net. Shapovalov lost it when he was dealt a point penalty at critical moment, causing him to lash out. I was just showing you the mark, Shapovalov yelled at the umpire. A tournament official was called in to mitigate further escalation. The umpires told Shapovalov that's the rule, and the ace quickly fired back. No, it's not. It's stupid. Good one. What is that guy, 5? At Shapovalov continued to verbally spar with the umpire. Fans lost patience with his antics as they were rooting for their countrymen. They loudly booed the number 16 player in the world, which caused the flare-up from Shapovalov, in which he cursed at the stands.
Wow.
Do you want to watch it?
We got a clip.
Yeah, let's watch it, because this is...
That's it.
Oh my God, that's it?
Yeah. So,
Italians don't like that, Eric. I mean, I don't know what experience you've had. You're a lifelong New Yorker.
Yeah.
And Italians don't like to be told that.
I think the headline should be tennis player makes tennis match interesting, because that's basically what...
Really?
Tennis is boring.
Tennis is boring.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know?
But do you think that making the tennis match better by screaming at Italians? Italians are basically good people.
But I thought
would
Italians
say.
scream at everybody all the time.
Italians do scream at everybody. A little bit of our own medicine, Eric? Is that what you're saying? You're giving us a little bit of our own medicine.
Yeah. Do you talk with your hands? That's
I do
another thing.
talk with my hands.
Yeah.
You could see it right now.
now
I'm
he's
pointing
pointing.
directly
Right.
at you, which is also a threat. But yeah, Italians. So this guy, Eric, you make a great point. Because I was arguing for the Italians, because I love my people.
Well, first of all, that guy's name is... he's a Canadian, but his name is Sharapov.
Shapovalov. Shapovalov?
That doesn't seem like a Canadian name. Something up there.
It seems like Russian fleeing the country don't want to be associated with that mess over there. So I'm Canadian.
This might be your new investigation.
I think the guy's fake news. He's a fake Canadian.
Yeah.
He's maybe a fake Canadian. And now he's going after the Italians,
Yeah.
screaming at us, yelling at us, you know. I just think that Italians don't appreciate that. But you have a great point that Italians do it to others. And now when others do it back, maybe we can't take any of our own medicine.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever watched Godfather of Harlem? Have you watched that?
I watched the first episode of
Oh,
it.
it's a good show, but, you know.
I thought it was a good show, but
Yeah.
it was like factually a lot inaccurate.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing was fake. But
Yeah. But no, I think Bumpy Johnson was a real gangster and what stuff. But like they had like the Chin dealing heroin. Like, he wasn't a heroin guy.
No.
He was a guy who like enforced. He was the opposite. He enforced the drug rule for the commission.
Right.
Believe it or not, he killed guys who were dealing heroin. So there's no way he had a huge heroin operation. So,
But it was about the black gangs kind of fucking with the Italians.
Yeah.
So
Not against that.
No,
Not
I don't,
against that.
Yeah, but you guys ran things for a long time. With
Yes,
that stuff.
mafia-wise.
Yeah.
But Shannon, what do you, as somebody who lives in Staten Island, where there's
my
probably
gosh.
a lot of this going on. This is probably every day for Shannon, and when somebody's trying to park.
It's a lot of yelling.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of yelling, and what do you think of this, Shannon? Where's your loyalties lie?
Of course, I have to be on the side of the Italian.
Yeah. We don't like a lot of complaining. We don't like a lot of complaints. It's like, get over it, dude. Get over it. Start playing. You know, it's like when you're settling with a heckler and another guy yells, "Do your act," which I love.
Yeah.
Just do your act.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you're not running things. I'm running things. I have the microphone. You paid to see me. This guy was like, help, by directing the whole.
I remember
show.
once. I remember you saying on stage, one of the worst heckles you can get from a black dude in the audience is, "That's corny." I think you once said that on stage.
I think that's probably That's a tough one.
That one.
That's corny.
That's so
you know what else
crushing.
is kind of like a backhanded compliment when you're done with the show. And I had this to me. This was a white woman after the show goes, "You're very clever."
Oh boy,
that's a rough one.
Yeah,
because it hits home because it's like, oh, the jokes are clever, but it's not actually hitting me in a place where there's humor.
Yeah.
So that hurts.
Or they're like, "Oh, you're a good writer." That's You'll get that from comics sometimes. That's always like, "Yeah, you suck, but you can know how to write a joke." Basically.
Yeah, you're a good writer, but your performance stinks.
Yeah.
I'm a better performer than you, but you're a good writer.
Yeah.
Why don't you go home and tweet and let me handle the tough stuff up here?
And then the other end, if you have like no jokes, and they'll go, "Oh, you have great energy." That's that's even worse. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, maybe it's us. Maybe we're looking for a slight anywhere. Could it be that?
Yeah, that's why I have a hard time talking to people after shows, because even if someone comes up to you and compliments you, they'll always say something that sticks in your craw a little bit. I don't know why.
Right.
Just say, "Great job," walk away.
Right.
Don't add anything, because every time you add something, it's always something that's slightly annoying.
Yeah. And it makes you just want to yell at the crowd, much like this guy did. You know what I mean?
Well, the Italians, at least.
The Italians yell at the crowd.
Did you still have a lot of yelling at home when you grew up?
It wasn't so much yelling as it was more just do what you're told kind of a thing.
Right.
Which is just do what you're told. Do what you're told or this will escalate. And it's like, I think now kids have a thing over their parents where it's like, well, what do I do if this escalates? Whereas when I was growing up, it was like, what do I do if this escalates? Because my father was like not a guy to be trifled with. So he would go... And the thing that was scary about him is he would take it to any level you wanted to take it. He's like, you want to go peaceful? We just do things peacefully. If you want to just flip the table over and have a Royal Rumble in our house, we'll do that too. It's like wherever you think this is going, it's going farther than that by me. It's like the person who cares the least about the results is the person who you should be most afraid of. And I think today it's like kids have that where it's like, well, what do I do? It's like, I had a friend who was having trouble with his daughter, she's giving her a hard day, and somebody called the cops. And he just opened up his house. He goes, you take her. Wow. He goes, you take her. He's like, I'm doing the best. He like laid it out, explained it. He's like, I'm not abusive, but she's tough. She's a behavior problem. And here's the history of it. And if you want to take her and you can do better, take her and do better. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. Like,
yeah,
don't, it
you
is
should
what it
actually
is.
have that option to just let them go and just give them up to the cops.
Well, the fire stations would be full of kids. People would be just dumping their kids off.
Did your dad ever hit you? Mm-mm. Spank?
Never hit, but Ron Bennington actually said the best thing, because I was trying to figure that out. My father always wore that like a badge because he was beaten growing up. So he always wore that like a badge. Like, I never hit you. I never hit your mother. I never done. And it's like, it was a big thing for him. Like, you know what I mean? Because he grew up with such abuse. So, but that's not the thing that was scary. The scary thing was I knew, and so did my brother and sister, it was always on the table. It was always on the table.
Did you ever punch a wall? Sometimes they would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
My dad.
I've seen stuff like
where they're like, "This is you next."
Yeah. So that was a little whatever, but we're getting farther from Tenet. You're trying to derail us on purpose because you don't like Italians.
I'm curious about
that.
No, I love the Italian culture. I'm a big fan. Everything about Italy.
Well, it's wildly dysfunctional. As you could see here, we're screaming at a tennis player. And I'm sure if it would have been tomato night, it would have been a nice zesty marinara in the middle of a tennis court. Could have thrown tomatoes at that guy. I don't know how that ended, but...
was that guy vaccinated? Because the tennis player's vaccinated now?
I think so. Djokovic had that whole thing where he wasn't. But I think in order to play, you have to have 6 different types of vaccinations. So I don't think that was the issue.
I can tell you the end of it real quick if you want. Shapovalov failed to keep his emotions in check throughout the remainder of the second set. Obviously still heated from his altercations with the umpire in the crowd. He dropped the second set 3-6, only to roar back to a 6-3 win in the third set to clinch the match.
He won the match?
He won.
Oh, wow.
He beat the Italian?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That stinks for us.
Yeah.
But good for him going on a roller coaster ride. Did he apologize to the crowd afterwards? He said, I'm sorry I called you a bunch of oil slicks, grease monkey. I'm sorry I called you guys names with a bunch. It would be funny if he would have just dropped his racket and done a bunch of ethnic slurs to them at the end of the match, and then I just walked off. I mean, that would have been incredible. Even though I'm Italian, I'm for that. A guy just yelling ethnic slurs at an Italian crowd and then walking on. And the Pope is fake. He just does that at the end. I'm like, what? Our Pope is fake? And now I'm going to go to the Vatican and play one of your bishops. It's like he just threatens Italian culture.
Yeah, we need an Italian Pope again. What happened to that?
He's an Italian.
I thought he's Brazilian.
He's Argentinian, but he is Italian, isn't he, Shannon? Can we check the ethnicity of the Pope?
He is Argentinian.
But is he Italian blood?
It says was born. Oh, you're right. He was born in Argentina to 2 Italian immigrants.
Thank you, Eric.
Wow.
I know
Never
my
knew
people,
that.
and he has 1 lung. Do you want to go after him that way? He has 1 lung during COVID. I think we should have a 2-lunged Pope during COVID.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next. We have a lot to get through, Eric, and I need you focused on this, okay? Sixers fan falls asleep. This hits close to home. I started comedy in Philly. I lived there for 8 years, taught at several schools. Sleeping 76ers fan defends himself against Charles Barkley drunk claim. I love Charles Barkley, by the way. I can't get enough of Barkley. A 76ers fan somehow slept through the portion of Philadelphia's 116-108 Game 4 win over the Heat on Sunday night. Late in the third quarter of a tight game, TNT, cameras caught the man snoozing in his seat at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, where the Sixers ultimately tied the Eastern Conference semifinals 2-2. The fan joined Miami's taking an L on Sunday, as his courtside seat likely wasn't cheap. There he is. He is sleeping. Okay.
Do you want to play this?
Yeah. Let's.
20 seconds.
Oh my God.
Where is he?
Oh, I don't know.
So
Oh, right here.
He's sleeping. I love it.
was Barkley like, oh, that's terrible.
No, Barkley said he was drunk.
Oh, okay.
After he was caught slouching in his seat with his mouth wide open, many critics had assumed he had too much to drink. But according to the sleeping fan, he was just taking a cat nap. This is unprecedented, somebody said, a local Philadelphia station. I mean, this is all over the place. Somebody said, I'm officially trending on Twitter. This has been a lot of positive feedback. Everybody making an assumption that I had been drinking. It's not actually accurate. I did have a drink or two, but not a lot. Keller said that his courtside snooze was a result of 2 things: being tired after taking a flight from Atlanta to Philadelphia after a college visit with his daughter. He's trying to be a good parent. And eating too much at a Mother's Day brunch. Those things can put you to sleep. Let's see what the guy has to say.
This is unprecedented. I mean, this is all over the place. You know, somebody said I'm officially trending on Twitter. And there's been a lot of positive feedback. You know, a couple of, everybody is making the assumption that I had been drinking. It's not actually accurate, but that's fine. Whatever it is. But most of the feedback's been positive.
Well, David, that's why I'm happy to chat with you because of what you just said. So what actually happened? How did you take me through it? Because we see that little clip, but were you sleeping for a longer period of time? Were you tired leading up? What led up to that moment that has gone viral in the third quarter?
Yeah. So, I'm a huge Sixer fan. I'm a partner with the Sixers, actually. That's hence the great seats I had. I'm a super motivated fan. I had flown back home from Atlanta. I was with my daughter for a college visit the night before. We got in after midnight. So I probably didn't get to sleep till 1. She had a soccer game in Annapolis that morning. We left the house at 7. So not a lot of sleep and a long drive, both back and forth. Came back to Mother's Day brunch, probably ate more than I should have. And then went to the Sixers, ran down to the Sixers game. I did have a drink or two, but not a lot. I mean, I'm a guy, anybody who knows me knows that I can play for long periods of time. So that really, I don't think it wasn't I think it contributed. So, and I just took a cat nap. So, I saw James Harden's 3-pointers in the fourth quarter.
Shannon.
I was waiting, but
This just becomes a lot of excuses after a while, and I don't think me and Eric want to hear it, neither do our fans.
How is being a Philadelphia fan passed out drunk unprecedented? I mean, Philadelphia fans are always fucking drunk.
Wait a second now, Eric. Shots fired.
Yeah.
We're not always drunk. After we win a Super Bowl, do we sometimes go to the streets where there's horse manure and eat that to prove a point that we're champions? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We'll eat horse manure to prove that we're champions. But falling asleep during a playoff game, that doesn't sound like us.
Yeah, that's unprecedented.
It's
You're right.
unprecedented.
If he was eating horse shit, I think we would have been okay, right?
Yeah, we would have been okay with it because that's the sign of a winner. And, he should have played the card. This is what I would have done. I would have done the equivalent of alopecia, the sleeping alopecia, which is narcolepsy. Mm-hmm. I would have been like, I have a disease, narcolepsy. And that's why I fell asleep. And then I would make everybody accusing me of being drunk feel bad.
Right.
Would you turn it that way? Would you flip it?
Would you say alopecia?
Alopecia?
Isn't that what?
Alopecia.
That's what Will Smith's wife had.
Yes. I've had it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then so
It's different where the hair doesn't grow.
it makes you pass out.
Narcolepsy
Okay.
makes you fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Just in conversation, whatever.
Right. So you're gonna
You know
you're
what I
gonna
mean?
turn it around like that and use it like that.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have
Do you
a
need
medical
do you
condition.
need me to slow the podcast down, Eric, so that you could? It doesn't sound like you're. It seems like you're a very smart guy, but you're getting this late kind of information.
I think Eric fell
Did I not
asleep during
explain
the
that well?
podcast.
Did Eric fall asleep during
Listen, I
that
had a
story,
mo- I
Shannon?
don't-
That's a great point.
I had a Mother's Day brunch, and I took my kids to soccer, and and I had a drink or two, and everyone knows me. Knows I can drink 17 beers and pass out.
Eric nodded off during that conversation.
Yeah, I got lost in alopecia. I really
You got
did.
lost
Yeah.
alopecia. You were trying to make sense of it, and then you lost what narcolepsy meant, and then you tried to put the analogy together.
Have you known anyone who has narcolepsy? That's a thing, right?
I did.
They said Jimmy Kimmel has it.
Really?
He admits to having it.
Yeah, that would explain his show. Sorry. I love Jimmy Kimmel. Mike Vecchione Investigates. Bedroom black markets. You may even have one next to you, and you'd never know. Because get this, in September of 2010, some officers got suspicious of a 77-year-old man with $10,000 dangling in his coat pocket. And they found him so questionable. They kicked his doors in to see what he was up to. And you know what they found? $1 billion worth of special assets. And I mean, it's ageist. This old dude is being searched. But turns out this guy is part of a $1.7 trillion market. And this market is over 253 years old. So really, a black market in this old guy's bedroom. And this isn't the end of the story. Discover more at masterworks.art/investigates. See important regulation A disclosures at masterworks.io/CD. Again, that's masterworks.art/investigates. All right, guys, let's get back into it. But that's great.
Narcolepsy.
But narcolepsy
is great.
Falling asleep in public aren't these the people that should be getting tackled?
I remember.
Instead of stand-up comedians, shouldn't sleeping fans be getting tackled?
I think the funniest thing was a couple of years ago. Do you remember when the Dodgers were in the World Series and Larry King was sitting behind home plate, and one of the games went to like 16 innings, and he was just fucking laid out,
Yeah.
unconscious, and he was there every night, like asleep,
Right.
over there. And I thought that was hilarious.
I think it is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. And now
to fall
he's dead
asleep in
though,
public.
which is probably funnier in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think they should Weekend at Bernie's him and put it behind there and be like, he's sleeping again?
He was there with Mary Hart. That was like a fucking blast from the past.
Pretty hot.
Yeah.
asleep in public, but he went to his daughter's soccer game. He slipped in there. It's like, I'm a good father. Went to a Mother's Day brunch. I'm a good husband. It's like, how many subliminal things can you slip in that you're a good person? I'd rather it be like, I'm a mess. I love the Sixers. I got hammered. I fell asleep. I went number 1 in my pants, not number 2. Thank you very much. Everybody should be thanking me for that. And then I woke up, and then I went to my row home on Porter Street in South Philadelphia, and then I fell asleep again. And then I woke up and missed work. Like, I want that kind of a story, not like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. Like, do you like a nice disaster?
Me? I'm a fan. Yeah.
Me too. I'm a fan. Stop trying to save it. It's like, oh, I went to my daughter's soccer, parent of the year, and then I went to a Mother's Day brunch. It's like, shut up.
So you're saying that Philadelphia fans are garbage? I mean, you're saying that. I mean,
I'm not saying that they're garbage. That's a different podcast where they decide, are you garbage? What I'm trying to determine, this is an investigatory podcast.
I thought this was about where we talk about guys we fucked. I thought that.
No, not that either.
Okay.
But two very friends of the show. But no, this is about getting to the bottom of stuff, and I just think that this guy's a fraud.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't deserve his 610 area code, which I still have.
Wow. See, you have a lot. Maybe I can't follow the Philly terms. You were talking about Stone Road. What is it? South Street?
Porter Street.
Porter Street. What's that? What's that?
McKean.
Oh, that's
19th and McKean.
That's
12th and Shunk.
Oh, that's a bad
these
area.
No, it's not a bad area.
that's a good
It's
area?
actually Italians.
Oh, bad.
You want to say something about us? Because we will yell at you. And Natalie is an honorary. Me and Shannon are real, and Natalie is an honorary.
Why am I not a real Italian? What do you think I am?
That's right. She is Italian.
I am Italian.
Oh, you got... we have Italians on this podcast, Eric.
Wow.
And I forgot Natalie's last name.
Yeah, that gives it away.
Her last name is like, you could have a cut of veal with it. That's how Italian it is.
What is it?
Di Chico.
Yeah, the Chico.
Capital
And just-
C.
Yeah, a capital C. And just because they're women doesn't mean that they're not Italians. We have women in our culture, and it's off limits to you, Eric.
So is everyone here Italian?
Yeah, everyone on this podcast.
See, I
we
like
take a blood test, and we do a 23andMe before they're greenlit to be producers.
See, I like that because it reminds me of David Chase, Sopranos. Like everyone he hired on the show is basically an Italian actor.
Right.
Yeah, I think he hired every Italian
And the
actor.
writers, too.
Yeah.
Because it's our culture, and you have to know how to write in our tone, which
Right.
is usually loud and abusive.
Although David Chase, I think, did change his name. That can't be a real Italian name.
I think his mother is Italian, and his father is like half, but he grew up in like Newark or something. Grew up in a very Jersey, whatever. But he's half Italian, but his mother, but he's an amazing.
Yeah, because back in the day, Italian guys would...
He did
there
change
you
his
go.
name. David Henry Chase is an American
Same with Steven
screenwriter,
Van Zandt.
showrunner.
He's Italian, too.
He's best known for writing and producing HBO drama The Sopranos, aired for 6 seasons between 1999 and 2007. Chase also produced and wrote Rockford Files. These guys got their experience, like Rockford Files, I'll Fly Away, Northern Exposure. Like he had it's like us doing years and years in the club and then pop. It's like, oh, this guy's new. It's like, yeah, that guy's been working on TV shows forever.
Yeah, he was like doing Sopranos when he was 60 or something like that.
No, but I love interviews with him because he does an interview kind of like an old school guy where they're asking us stuff. He goes like, yeah. He just tells it like kind of nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Takes all of the airs off of it, and just gives it like the straight, like, yeah, this is what happened. Here's what happened. I like when a guy does an interview like that where it's like, it's not like he's not over dramatic with any of it. He's just like, yeah, this happened. And it's like he was writing for a long time and wanted to pitch a show and wanted to do his own show, but was used to the money of writing and the comfort it provided, and had a daughter and wanted to send her to college and couldn't do that if he was going to quit and just like do his own show. So he waited for the right time and he had an idea. It's like a very methodic instead of just like one day I was selected out of the blue. It's like, no, it was.
And he came up with the best show of all time, basically.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's better than Sopranos?
I thought The Wire was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You gonna stand off on it?
No, I thought
The Wire is better than The Sopranos. I just thought that the writing was. I mean, that guy is unreal too. I mean, The Sopranos is great. It's unbelievable. It's one of the best shows in history. But I thought The Wire is just unbelievable too, as far as like dialing in.
I just never saw it. Like I saw a couple episodes.
Yeah.
People
you have to see the whole thing.
People always say The Wire is the best show that no one ever saw.
Yeah.
So
it's unreal. I think The Wire. And Game of Thrones is up there. It's one of the best of all time. I think. Okay, so that Sixers fan falling asleep. I would rather it have been that kind of a story where he was a complete mess.
Yeah.
Because people were trying to make it that. That guy saved it. He goes, no, I'm just a good parent.
Yeah.
I'm just a good parent that fell
But
asleep.
how come he gets courtside seats? That seems to be bullshit.
He said we're partners with the Sixers, which means he probably works for a bank or some kind of a marketing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, if that was the Lakers, you would never see a guy like that in the front row. They put all the beautiful people.
I mean, there's something to be said for the beautiful people.
Yeah. You know?
Do you like that? Do you think the beautiful people should be front and center?
Yeah, I don't want to see that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
But that guy's a corporate. You got to put corporate sponsors in there too, right?
That's true. I mean, Nicholson was always in the front after
Right.
a while. He wasn't that beautiful.
Yeah, but he's a legend.
Yeah.
You got to put legends, corporate money, and hot people.
Yeah.
Well, Sixers don't put hot people, but they put the others. But LA does that. LA
Yeah.
puts hot people.
Well, who's
and
the
probably
cele-
Miami.
I mean, in New York, you could put Pete Davidson in front, but in 76ers, who are their celebrities? Do they have any? Drake is Raptors. He'll sit in the front.
Right. Well, no one still lives in Philly.
Yeah.
Who's like lives, you know what I mean? Like
There's gotta
Kevin
be
Hart is from Philly,
Yeah.
but he doesn't live there anymore.
You have no celebrity that's like the Philly guy.
Kevin Hart is the Philly. Kevin Hart is from Philly.
What would you put, like a Rocky statue, like in the front?
I think that's a good strategy. I think we put him on the court. He's our sixth man. Yeah. And then it's like illegal jab, flagrant. He gets thrown out of every game in the first quarter. Okay, let's move on. North Korea bans tight jeans. This one is killing me right now because I have tight jeans on as we speak. The fans can't see it unless we have an under-the-table cam. Did Lewis install that yet, Shannon? An under-the-table cam that live streams?
Not yet. That's coming with the next table.
Nice.
Oh, good. North Korea bans tight jeans, dyed hair, other trends with capitalist flair. Ah, this guy. Kim Jong-un regime is tampering. I'm sorry, I misread that. It's ramping up its crackdown on decadent Western fashion trends in North Korea, including dyed hair, tight jeans, and piercings, according to a report. Radio Free Asia says North Korea's Socialist Patriot Youth League, oh God, that sounds like traveling baseball, is now directing its repressive efforts at women in their 20s and 30s wearing long hair down to their waist, dye their locks brown, or don clothing emblazoned with large foreign letters. An unnamed resident of the city, Ham Hung, told the U.S. government-sponsored nonprofit news outlet that North Korea's regime is also after women who wear curve-hugging pants. Those who are spotted wearing styles showing capitalistic flair outdoors are forced to wait on the side of the road until a youth patrol is finished searching the area for other violators.
Well,
I mean, what do you think, Eric?
I know why he's against skinny jeans. I mean,
Why?
Look at him. Like he can't.
Because he's overweight.
Yeah, he can't make that work. So I think he wants to. I'm surprised, and the hair thing too. I think he wants.
He
doesn't
needs a
want-
barber.
Yeah, he doesn't want anyone else to have nice hair. Because he's.
I like the side shave, though.
You like that?
I kind of do like it, and I think it's a hot look. I think that's a hot look, and yeah, should people be wearing skinny jeans and piercings? It's like the country is kind of like your dad,
Yeah.
who goes, "You're not going out looking like that,"
Right.
And that's the way the country is. Isn't that kind of refreshing
Yeah,
to live in a country with that kind of structure? We're so free to do whatever. It's like you could just go out wearing whatever today, and there's nobody telling you that you can't. The government tells you that you
It'd almost
can't.
be nice if someone told you how to dress every day, so you wouldn't have to think about it.
Right.
Like going to Catholic school. Did you ever go to Catholic school?
No, I never went to Catholic
Oh.
school. But I do like wearing the same thing every day.
Do you?
For the most part.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of black shirts. I have a bunch of the same top. When I go on the road, I just wear the same thing to every show.
How many pairs of underwear do you have?
3. I have them in full rotation.
Right,
though.
right.
You know what I mean? That's all you need. If
Well, you
know
can wear
how
them
to- if you know
inside
how-
out and right. flip
Well, if
them
you know
over.
how to space them the right way, that's really all you need. And you keep yourself clean. I clean eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not secreting all kinds of oils and other things all over the underwear.
Right. And you bathe every whatever.
And I bathe once a day.
Really? That seems like a lot. Is that normal?
Once a day is normal. What do you do?
Oh, every other week. I didn't know that was a thing.
You do once every other week?
Yeah.
Is that like a Brad Pitt thing where it's like it's like you just let the bacteria, we let the good bacteria kill the bad bacteria, and that's what you call a shower?
Yeah, I think or Jared Leto, I think he does that too.
I think a lot of them do that, and they don't wear deodorant because something titanium, something with your cells. I don't know, some other excuse. I don't know. Okay, well, let's go back to that because I think that what are the punishments, you know? Like, does the punishment fit the crime?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I thought skinny jeans...
Okay, wait a second, Eric, because all the offenders are then taken to the youth league's office, the head office, they call it headquarters, where they must confess their crimes in writing, according to the report. They can only be released to their homes if someone brings them more appropriate clothing. So you have to confess to it in writing. And it's like, there's the culprits. There's the skinny jeans.
That's it. All you got to just say, I'm sorry for wearing...
you have to admit to it. I'm wearing skinny jeans. I'm trying to look sexy. RFAs. What's RFA, Shannon?
Hold on. It must be something that we passed already. Hold on.
Who's the one that sounded like a...
Oh, yeah. Radio Free Asia.
Oh, Radio Free Asia. I mean, that's a quick abbreviation.
Yeah.
Radio Free Asia's anonymous source said that, of course, everything's anonymous because they don't want to get arrested, stepped up the crusade, which is, wow, we're calling it a crusade now, against Western trends. I'm against a lot of Western trends, though. Western trends, I mean, we should have the freedom to do it. I'm against oppression, but a lot of Western trends are not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not a big fan of this guy, but I think he nailed it this time.
He did nail it.
Yeah.
The oppressive part is what I don't like. Making it a law, arresting people for bad fashion. Half of Gas Digital would be in prison. The Youth League officials said wearing clothes and hair like people in capitalist countries was in violation of North Korea's socialist practices. North Korea first pronounced a crackdown on skinny jeans, piercings, and certain hairs. This is all of the people that we're talking to right now. All of our fans are this. And they would be hairstyles, including mullets. Oh, my God. A year ago, after Kim slammed foreign style and speech as dangerous poisons. He's not wrong. The Youth League has since redoubled its effort to weed out people imitating foreign fashions and customs. Then you got to come up with your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, what's your fashion? If you're going to block other people's fashion, be like, we don't want to be like America, that's fine. But what's your own fashion then?
Like him, like Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Dressed like him.
Just
know?
haircut on the sides. I like a shaved head on the sides. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what do you call
if I
that?
agree
What
with
do you call that haircut? Because it used to be kind of a little special needsy. That was kind of...
Well, it's shaved on the sides, and then you just leave it long in the middle. I don't know what that's called. The Capone? I don't know.
Isn't it like marine cut, kind of?
Well, but you're leaving it long in the middle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that with my hair because my hair will grow up and wild, and I can't just let that go. And I have a picture, which I'll bring in sometime for when I did it, and it looks crazy.
You got a mullet?
No, my hair doesn't grow down. It'll grow up. And it probably grow because it's thinner now than it used to be, but it'll just, I've shaved the sides and I just let it keep growing up.
Oh, yeah, because I saw that headshot of you from the 80s where you had that big flat top.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a flat top. Patrols in the city at Shanglin have been targeting local marketplaces known as popular hangout spots for youth, according to another source. Okay. If youths were caught doing anything forbidden, their employers will be notified of their violation. They are then subjected to criticism, and in the most severe cases, the violator's name, home address, and workplace will be revealed publicly on third broadcast, the source told RFA, referring to the government-controlled loudspeakers. Wow, how about publicly shamed for stuff?
And they're doxing you, too, because they're giving your name.
They're giving your home address.
Yeah. Just for wearing a pair of fucking skinny
But aren't we
jeans.
doing this to our pedophiles, basically? We're like, this guy's a pedophile. Now you have to go around the neighborhood and tell people, except they're doing it with fashion.
Yeah.
It's like you have to go to each house and go, I wore skinny jeans.
In a perfect world, you wouldn't do it with the pedophiles, and then you would do it with these people.
Well, maybe put the pedophiles on these people so they can stop dressing so sexy. Maybe lesson learned.
Yeah.
Just food chain it.
But I heard now skinny jeans are not popular. I think...
What's popular now, Shannon? The bare
Yeah.
midriff is popular, leaving your stomach open.
I think also the wide leg pants are coming back in.
Wide leg is back. bare midriff. Is that what it's called when you leave your stomach open?
Crop top.
Crop
Yeah.
top. And pierce everything?
Yeah.
Is that what we do?
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No.
I think that was like the
piercing
90s,
your nose?
2000s.
I see the skinny jeans where they're kind of skinny, but then they're kind of like floods.
Flared out.
Yeah, they're floods.
Yeah.
Though.
I used to like that look.
Yeah.
I like that look. I always liked it. Okay, so this story is
No, it's an important story.
it's an important one,
Yeah.
and we don't do non-important ones. So that's an international story. We like to cover all the genres here.
He does have nukes though, so we have to watch him.
And they're always like testing their nukes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, they're testing it and testing it and testing it. It's like, we should just start testing ours. And then we should make big reports about it. It's like, we're testing stuff too.
Yeah.
It's like, you're testing and we're testing. When you make a crazy move, then we'll make a crazy move.
We used to test all the time, and we stopped out. We got to.
But it needs to go out on Twitter. It's like, we're testing stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
you're testing. Every time you test, we're going to do a test. So you're not going to be the only one who's doing military exercises.
We need to now. We got to show Russia who's boss. Mm-hmm. You know, they need to know.
Well, Putin just got off of surgery, so maybe we should let him recover first. Okay. We don't have that much time. So,
Oh, jet suit.
Do you want to do this one or do you want to do a different one?
yeah, I want to do... Yeah, let's do this one.
Okay.
Jet suit first responders. Jet suit company brings superhuman abilities to emergency responders. I thought they were already superheroes. The media just betrayed itself. A pioneering British jet suit company is giving superhuman powers to responsive emergency services for search and rescue missions in remote locations north of England.
What the hell's a jet suit? Is that like a flying?
Yeah, you're a flying man.
Oh wow,
It's like a jet suit.
I thought they have that. Wow.
Well, England apparently does. Jamie Walsh, a Great North American ambulance paramedic, is the first. I mean, that's a better name for a paramedic than just like St. Agnes's. It's like Great North American Ambulance. I have more confidence in these guys.
Yeah.
The Great North Air Ambulance paramedic. It's like, oh my God, you sound like a hero. Is the first of 3 trainees to fly the Gravity Industries jet suit in the steep hills of the Lake District after just 6 lessons. Initially, when I was told about this, I thought, it's impossible. And when it starts becoming possible, then you actually start to see the trials of what's achievable and how I feel there is a place where this can benefit patients. Jet suit inventor and developer Richard Browning flew a test route up Helvian, completing a more than 2,000-foot climb over a 1 to 2 mile distance in around 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Wow.
That's him with the jet suit on.
He looks like a Ghostbuster.
He really does look like a Ghostbuster. If you think about the cost of a paramedic helicopter and all the crew involved and the maintenance and everything, actually, this is a fraction of that. A fraction of it?
That doesn't look safe. You're flying with that? I don't buy it.
I have no doubt that it has had its place in the portfolio of equipment that these kinds of professionals have at their fingertips. Let's see it. Oh, look at he's levitating.
Oh, come on.
That's pretty cool,
bullshit.
man.
He's going like 1 inch up off the ground.
The suit can reach speeds of excesses of 80 miles per hour and is technically capable of reaching an altitude of 12,000 feet.
Wow.
But for safety reasons is flown much lower. The 3D printed suit. What? You could 3D print these suits? I'm going home and printing one tonight.
You got a
Consists
3D print?
of 2 small turbines attached to each arm and a larger one mounted on. We're all going to be flying soon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're using it as first responder, whatever, but it's a way to get us all flying.
How is this not a thing already? You know, everyone always makes that joke about, oh, where's the flying cars? But this is it, right?
This is it.
Yeah.
Forget a car. I'm a flying man.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know that.
Wouldn't that be great if, like, you want to have coffee? I'll meet you at that cloud. That cloud that looks like your cousin Nick. Fat, white, and just laying there. Is the horn broken, Shannon?
I can't. I have to hit it after we switch the screen. In post, Mike. In post.
In post?
Yeah. You can add these later?
Apparently we can.
Mike, we go over this every week.
I'm sorry. My feelings, I'm still sensitive.
Nah.
Sorry.
I like this, but that's what they use during the roast battles and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like when you really...
We stole it from Cypher Sounds,
Oh, good. Excellent.
who's a friend of the show.
Yeah, he says it's okay.
He said it's okay.
Yeah.
He gave consent.
He is a jet
and
suit,
men can
right?
also give consent. And yeah, he does have a jet suit. He DJs in the sky. That would be a whole thing. A party in the sky. Cypher Sounds DJing on a cloud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
I would listen to that or watch it. Can you watch it or listen to it?
No, you have to be there. And it's probably live streamed.
All right, but if you
For the price of a gas digital subscription, let's take a chance. For a gas digital subscription, it's probably live streamed.
Oh yeah. Can you get a jet suit if you get a live subscription to Gas Digital?
Gas digital jet suits? Is that something that Lewis and Ralph are thinking about doing?
Maybe.
They're always ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll have like 10 of them or something, and they go on sale like Skankfest tickets.
Yes.
And then you have to like get them quick.
Right. Okay. Well, that's.
I like how you're getting this
It's
all
an
from
advertisement.
from the New York Post. That's yeah.
Oh, that's it. The 3D printed consists of. We already did that. The next stage of the project is to get paramedics' flight skills to a level where their real emergency assistance will arrive via jet paramedics in the Lake District, avoiding site triage and urgent casualty response in a matter of minutes rather than 2 hours. How about health insurance for people? Just regular health insurance for people where they don't have to pay $8,000 for an X-ray. Can you do that? Is that a thing?
But every picture of him is always like 2 inches off the ground. So I'm still yet to. We have to watch it.
I think this starts medical, and then I think it just goes into a party thing, like where it's like we're partying in the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it quickly it starts as a medical thing, and then quickly turns where you're tweeting from a different location in the sky.
Would you get one of those things?
After it's been tested a bunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be the first guy to get it. I'm too afraid of heights.
Yeah.
Imagine, because, your jetpack, there's got to be like backups. If your jetpack runs out of whatever.
Well, maybe you could start like what they do with jumping out of planes. You can tandem do it for a while with someone else.
Yeah, that's annoying, though, to be with someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else right next to you.
Yeah. They're like grabbing you tight.
And telling you things. It's like, what if you don't like the person? Yeah. It's like we're having creative differences, and then you have a fight, and then that guy just lets you die. I don't know, but I think that's going to quickly go social.
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Maybe it's Foursquare for the sky.
Yeah.
I'll meet you at this. I'll meet you at that tree.
Clouds.
And what are the birds' reactions going to be? It's like these, like, you guys have the land, we have the sky. And then we've had to deal with your planes for a long time, and these weird parasailing guys and all this stuff. And now you're just going to be flying.
Birds aren't real though.
They're not.
You know that's conspiracy theory.
Is that what are they? Projections?
It started as a joke, but now people believe it. Birds aren't real. They're all government drones. But it started as a joke, but people now actually believe it. It's like a big thing also with Generation Z, where they're kind of making fun of people who are into conspiracy theories.
Oh, they should be.
Yeah.
That's one thing I root for Gen Z.
Yeah.
Gen Z has some good ideas.
Well, like what?
Like that. Like the one you just brought up. Like, I think they're over all this offended, like, they're for free speech. They're like, they're over all of this offended. They're like, okay, we were born with this, so it's just noise. Whereas millennials take it like, because they were born when this wasn't happening, so they're shocked by it still. And Gen Z's like, yeah, this is just a reality. We don't know life without this.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean?
I think you nailed it, because I'm starting to see that now. Like, I see some of the really young audience members, they're laughing harder at those edgy fucking comics.
Right.
Yeah, so
because they know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not like, oh, is this what is this? Is this guy making it? Like, it's not that.
And then none of them have knife guns, which is good.
And none of them have knife guns, which is very good. And they will not attack. I don't think they'll attack. I think they're better than that. All right, so let's cut it off there, Shannon. We've done some really good investigations. We learned that you should never attack stand-up comics, and if you do, you better hit up a poetry reading and a karaoke stage. You should never yell at Italians if you're a tennis star, even though it worked out for this guy in this case. Don't fall asleep at a Sixers game, and if you do, make sure you're a complete mess so that there's a good story, not that you're a great father and you went to a Mother's Day brunch. North Korea bans tight jeans, which we're in agreement is the right move. And jet suit first responders are a new thing, but it's quickly going to escalate to people partying in the air and new forms of pollution.
Now, you have all these different stories. Isn't it like you tie it together and what do you like?
We just did. Eric, were you not here for the last 5
No, but you have to say like
seconds?
a moral for all four.
Oh, no, we even tied the moral. We're trying to just investigate each thing.
Right.
And then we let our fans come to our own conclusion. They have to do a little bit of thinking for once.
And your
in their
fans can handle that, right?
I think they can handle it at a very low level. But yes, they can handle it. And you guys can handle it. And I believe in you guys. and I believe in you. And Erik may doubt you, and Shannon may think you need to be spoon-fed porridge in order to stay alive, but not me. I believe in you guys, and I love you.
Yeah.
Let it sit there. I'd like to thank Erik.
It was a lot of fun.
For coming in. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the clubs. And I would like to thank my 2 Italian women who are very strong and capable of maybe going to space in the future. If we could get them gas digital jet suits, I think that maybe they could be the first Italian women in space. Which Italian women in space, I just picture them feeding the other astronauts. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. For Erik, for Shannon, for Natalie, I'm Mike Vecchione. I love you guys. We didn't do plugs.
You want to hit the intro real quick?
What?
You want me to hit the intro real quick?
What's the intro?
The intro
Oh,
to the
no.
plugs.
Let me just do them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we didn't do plugs, so we were signing off without plugs. At Comic Mike V on all social media. At Comic Mike V on all social media. Please follow me. If you're not, please follow me. And MikeVecchione.com. I have dates in Arizona, which is this week, and then Minnesota in 2 weeks. So this is for the people in Minnesota. Come and watch me at the House of Comedy, where I love. So it's Phoenix this week, which will be too late. Thursday.
Edmonton, that's
Minnesota, good. Edmonton, Alberta, and then I go overseas to Italy and Turkey. Winnipeg, Canada, August 30th to September 3rd, and then Skankfest on October 14th to 16th. Guys, please come out and see one of my live dates. I'm editing my hour now. Hopefully it'll be out soon. My other podcast, Macaroni Rascals, is on hiatus, so please tune into this one. I have the best guests, the best comics in New York City. I can't thank you enough for your support on for your 5-star ratings and reviews and the YouTube premiere. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you. Erik, would you have anything to plug?
Oh, yeah. Just follow me, ERIK, Erik B. Comic on Instagram. I have everything there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Shannon.
You can follow me on Instagram at Shannon Lee 6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. That's absolutely for free, but the best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI. That'll give you a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every single episode of this show we've ever done. This is episode 59, so every single episode, as well as every single episode of every show on the Gas Digital Network, live stream episodes sooner, lots of benefits, all for free for 1 week. You can go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, and tell a friend. And if you have a question, comment, or your own video investigation to submit, send it in to MikeVecchioneInvestigates at gmail.com. That's it.
All right, guys, that's the episode. We love you. We'll see you next week. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.